Hello fellow squaddies, welcome back to Royal Telly. Kenneth here. Imagine the game of chess. It's a game of strategy, of anticipation, of making moves that might not make sense until many turns later. Now, picture the Duke of Sussex, Prince Harry, as a grandmaster of this game, making moves that leave the UK press floundering in his wake. The Duke's recent announcement of a trip to New York serves as a perfect example. The news was a siren call to the UK press. They jumped at the bait, their minds whirling with speculation about his patronages and projects. A goldmine of discussion and debate fed to the lions of the press who gleefully ran with it. But here's the twist. This wasn't just a simple announcement, it was a diversion, a strategic move on the chessboard. You see, while the press was busy circling the New York story like hungry sharks, the Duke was making another move entirely. He was quietly returning to his homeland for a funeral. The press, their eyes glued to New York, missed his return to the UK entirely. Their focus was elsewhere, exactly where the Duke wanted it to be. Their usual game of constant surveillance and speculation was disrupted. They were left scrambling, trying to catch up, but the Duke was already several moves ahead. This, fellow squaddies, is how you play the game. He's manipulating it, turning it to their advantage. He's playing chess while the press is playing checkers, and it's not just him. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex are rewriting the rules, altering the narrative. They're no longer just pieces on the board, moved at the whim of the press. They're the ones in control. They're the ones making the moves. This, fellow squaddies, is just the beginning. The chess game has begun. The Duke of Sussex, it seems, has started a game of chess with the UK press. While the lions were feasting on the New York story, our Duke made his move. As the UK press savoured every morsel of the tantalising New York narrative, Prince Harry, our Duke of Sussex, quietly embarked on a journey back home. Yes, you heard it right. He was returning to the UK, a move as unexpected as a well-executed chess gambit. Prince Harry, once the subject of relentless media scrutiny in the UK, was now the one pulling the strings. He had their attention diverted, their focus fixated on a narrative of his own making. He was not merely playing the game, he was controlling it. The funeral he was attending was not just any service. It was a solemn, private affair, deeply personal and away from the prying eyes of the media. And while the press was busy dissecting his New York ventures, the Duke was in London, paying his respects. The press, with their lenses pointed towards New York, were caught off guard. They had been played, and they didn't even realize it. The Duke had managed to maintain his privacy, to mourn in peace, away from the relentless shutter clicks and glaring headlines. It was a masterstroke, a move so subtle yet so profound. It was a testament to the Duke's understanding of the press's mechanisms, their hunger for stories, their tendency to jump at the slightest hint of news. He had used their own tactics against them, and they were none the wiser. This was not a game of luck or chance. This was chess, and the Duke of Sussex was playing for a checkmate. He had outmaneuvered the UK press, stayed one step ahead, anticipated their moves, and countered them with precision. And the press was none the wiser. Checkmate! The Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, with her own experiences with the UK press, has been instrumental in this strategic chess match. Her role can't be understated. The Duchess, herself a victim of the UK press's relentless scrutiny, has joined forces with her husband in this game of media manipulation, proving that two heads are indeed better than one. When it came to the Columbia tour, the Duchess played a pivotal role. The couple made a bold move, banning every form of UK press from covering the tour. That's right, every single one. The Sun, the Mirror, Telegraph, Daily Mail, Express, they all found themselves on the outside looking in, and this was no minor play. By excluding the UK press, they denied them the opportunity to spin their narrative, to feed their readers with sensationalized stories, and to monetize on the Sussexes' public duties. This was a calculated move, a clear message to those who have long profited from their lives. It was a statement that they would no longer be pawns in a game where they didn't set the rules. Instead, they seized control of the narrative and turned the tables on the press. The Duchess's role in this is not just about her actions, but also about the strength she brings to their partnership. She has weathered the storm of media scrutiny and emerged stronger, wiser, and more determined. She has stood by the Duke of Sussex, supporting him in everything. Together, they have shown that they are not just playing the game, they are changing it. They are setting a new standard for how public figures interact with the press. They are demonstrating that it is possible to stand up to media manipulation and come out on top. They are proving that it is possible to reclaim one's narrative and to control one's own story. So, yes, the Duke of Sussex is playing chess and he's doing it well. But he's not doing it alone. Alongside him, the Duchess of Sussex is also making her moves, and together, they are a force to be reckoned with. Together, the Sussexes are changing the rules of the press. Now, we see the UK press scrambling, trying to salvage what they can. The once roaring lions are now whimpering kittens, left picking up the pieces of their shattered narrative. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have outsmarted them, and the press knows it. They have been spun around, left disoriented in the wake of the Sussexes' strategic moves. The reporters, once considered royal insiders, are now left out in the cold, fuming and frustrated. Denied the opportunity to monetize on the Duke's return to the UK, they are left scrambling for scraps of information. They're reduced to interviewing vicars, desperately trying to cobble together a story from second-hand accounts. But by the time they catch up, the Duke is already gone, leaving them with nothing but echoes of his presence. The press's desperation is palpable. They're beginning to realize they're no longer the puppet masters, but are instead the puppets. They're beginning to understand the Sussexes are not merely playing their game, but are changing it entirely. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex are writing their own narrative, refusing to be characters in the press's twisted fairy tales. This realization is setting in, and it's causing a seismic shift in the press's approach. The narrative around the Sussexes is beginning to change. The press is slowly coming to terms with the fact that they are dealing with a new breed of royalty. One that is savvy, strategic, and unafraid to challenge the status quo. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex are not just surviving under the relentless scrutiny of the press. They're thriving. They're turning the tables, and the press is left scrambling to keep up. They're setting the narrative, dictating the terms, and breaking the cycle of manipulation and control. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have proven that they are not only players, but they are game changers. They've taken the press's game, flipped it on its head, and are now playing it on their own terms. The press is left playing catch-up, trying to keep up with the Sussexes' strategic moves. And the world is watching, captivated by this unprecedented shift in power dynamics. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have made some masterful moves. They've played the game, and they're winning, and they'll always win. Prince Harry's strategic manoeuvring, for instance, has allowed him to control the narrative and keep his personal life private. By feeding the press a juicy story about his upcoming trip to New York, he successfully diverted attention away from his quiet return to the UK. It was a brilliant move, and it left the press scrambling for scraps. This goes to show that the Duke has not only learned how to navigate the treacherous waters of the UK tabloids, but he's also learned how to masterfully manipulate it. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex has shown her prowess by making a bold, unprecedented move, by banning every single form of UK press from their Columbia tour. They ensured that the narrative would not be twisted or manipulated. This move sent a clear message. The Sussexes are no longer willing to be pawns in the media's game. The press's reaction to all of this? Well, they're beginning to realise that they're not dealing with the same Sussexes anymore. They're dealing with a couple who are not only aware of their manipulative tactics, but are also willing and able to counter them. Looking forward, it's safe to say that things are going to be different. The Sussexes have set a new precedent, and the press will have to adapt. Maybe, just maybe, this could lead to a shift in the narrative surrounding Duchess Meghan and Prince Harry. One thing is clear, the Sussexes are not just surviving the game, they are mastering it. They're staying one step ahead, making strategic moves and refusing to be played. And that, fellow squaddies, is a masterclass move. Thank you for joining us today on this episode, and thank you for your unwavering support. Through subscriptions, likes, your comments, and PayPal donations, may Almighty God continue to bless you all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's Kenneth. Bye for now.